Hey, it's Cliff, and there has been so much Sologenic / Coreum news going on in these past recent weeks, so I'm going to break into some of that news with you guys, and then I'm going to drop some FUD in at the end, because it seems like people like the balance of the good and the bad. What are the bullish people saying? What are the bearish people saying? So I kind of mix it together and see if I can find both to make a happy medium video. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into the good news to see what's going on with Coreum. So I got a tweet here from Coreum, and it says, if you hold XRP, Core, or Solo and have not set your trust line yet, make sure you do that before the snapshot. That snapshot is March 24th, 2023. Now, I'm probably going to do some more videos on how to establish trust lines. I just haven't got around to doing that yet. I do have some older ones, though, with Solo and Coreum on like Zoom wallets and the Solo DEX. So it's pretty much the same thing. You're just going to input a different code. So if you want to look at those and establish your trust line, you can kind of like put the pieces together. But I'm going to actually make some new videos in the future when I get some time. So moving on from there, I got a tweet from Bob Ross. He says, we've connected with many institutional entities interested in running validators for Coreum. It's incredible to see the level of interest of these parties to be part of the ecosystem. We will start announcing key partnerships, validators, and new listings for Solo and Core next week. I'll take that. That's pretty good news. We're gonna have some partnerships, some validators, and new exchange listings, which is definitely something we need for these two tokens, because there needs to be more ability for people to access them as the utility grows for the tokens. So looking forward to seeing what they have to say about this next week. Anyway, moving on from there. So this is the meat of the video, what I have here. I have a Medium article from Sologenic where they kind of explain the new plans of what's going to happen with Coreum. So they start talking here, and they say, since its announcement in December 2021, has it really been a year? This entire 2022 year just flew by for me. I don't know if it's the same for you guys, but it's hard to believe that this actually was a full year. But anyway, since Coreum blockchain has gained tremendous global attention by introducing a new standard of enterprise use cases, such as ISO 20022 compliance and smart tokens. Learn more about them here, which I'm gonna do more videos going into the smart tokens. Haven't hit on that yet, but it is definitely coming. When it comes to this ISO standard, I don't think we really need to make a video on that. People kind of blow up the ISO thing more than it really is. ISO is just a standard. It's a framework for people to do whatever they want to do. It could be a medical device. It could be anything like tokens and use cases. This one's for it's for being a messaging system, which people kind of tie that into being like central bank digital currencies or whatever they want it to be. But it's not a legal requirement, and I don't want to get into this too much because it's going to bore on people. It's just a framework. Like the one I most know ISO tokens for is risk management framework when you're working in like cybersecurity. It's just a guideline to say, hey, this is how you should probably do this thing to make your product actually work decent. So people hype it up a little bit more than they should, but it's good. It's a good framework to have. But moving back into it, it says Coreum's open source project is 100% community owned and is built by developers with a passion for making more advanced, secure, and fast blockchain for any size of the enterprise. Man, doesn't that just get you pumped up? Anyway, here's the actual information. They kind of threw a lot of fluff in there, but Mainnet launch. The highly anticipated Mainnet launch of the Coreum blockchain will take place on 24 of March 2023 at 4 a.m. UTC time. So originally we were kind of thinking this was going to be January. The Mainnet launch for Coreum has been pushed back to 24th of March. And what will that Mainnet launch include? Well, we have staking. And it says once the mainnet is live, participants will have a unique opportunity to start staking their Coreum tokens on the Coreum blockchain. It's forecasted that early stakers benefit from APRs as high as 40% initially, while the total supply is moving from the XRPL to the Coreum blockchain. So if you're looking to stake your tokens, that's some serious money. That's 40% APR. So I would definitely be watching when Mainnet goes live this 24 March, just to see their instructions on staking and how to actually do that, because that's a good chunk. That's a good chunk of change. I'll definitely take that. But anyway, moving on from there, Partnerships and exchange listings. The growth and partnership teams at Coreum have been working hard behind the scenes to bring more value to the Coreum ecosystem. Right after the mainnet launch, we will announce many exciting partnerships like various institutional validators, wallet integrations, and tier 1 exchange listings. So people have been hyping up Binance for like a year now. There's not really any proof at this point. I think people try and like piece things together that aren't actual facts, which I mean, it's okay if you're into the whole like XRP had this bear game kind of going around for a while where he'd like post pictures and videos and they try to like get the clues from it, but to me that was total bullshit. I'm looking for actual facts from the company itself to give me my information. Some people like that, they think it's fun. That's not me, dude. I'm sorry. But so yeah, this is them telling us, hey, we're doing some tier 1 exchanges. So that is definitely good news. Moving on down, VC fundraising. Since its inception, the core team's principle was to develop an open source technology that is 100% community based without public token sale, which that is true, but you also have to remember that they do control a certain amount of the supply. So this is community based. This is not... they're airdropping all the tokens, but they do control part of the supply. So consider that as well. They put this being 100% community based like 4 times in this article to the point that it almost seems fishy, but it is true. The whole point of Coreum is to have projects build on top of this layer 1. So that's kind of what they're getting at, but don't forget that they also do control some of the supply. Anyway, rant over there, but it says, which has traditionally been a common practice among most blockchain projects. They're referring to people having like initial coin offerings where you buy tokens or whatever, compared to Coreum, who is airdropping their tokens. So it says Coreum will launch its first fundraising round in Q1 2023 for reputable VCs and institutional accredited investors. Okay, sounds good. All right, so let's see here. Core and xCORE airdrops. So I saw a little bit about this xCORE stuff where people were flipping their shit because they thought Coreum / Sologenic was making another token and people were not having that. So let's get into that here. It says Coreum has been a 100% community-based project. See, there they go again. And will always remain the same. Community and technology are the main backbones of any blockchain project, and the success and future adoption of its technologies depend directly on both factors. Within the past 18 months, we've been working around the clock on the research and development of Coreum technology. As we're moving closer to the mainnet launch, it's a suitable time to expand the Coreum community, increase its reach within the crypto space to make the ecosystem truly decentralized by airdropping the majority of the supply to the community. Majority, see, it goes back to that 30% number that I was saying. Anyway, to engage more crypto communities to participate in the Coreum ecosystem, the core team has decided to unlock and conduct an airdrop of 100 million core tokens to the core holders and 50 million xCORE token option tokens with a strike option price of $10 to both Solo and XRP holders. Okay, so that's a little bit different from what they were initially trying to do with Core, and then obviously xCORE is something completely new that we hadn't heard of. So, okay, I'm interested to see how this is going to change. So, what's the airdrop ratio for Core and xCORE? A total of 100 million core tokens will be distributed to those accounts that hold Core, and a total of 50 million xCORE will be distributed to the wallets that hold Solo and XRP at the time of the snapshot. The following ratio will be applied to the distribution. So Core holders, 100% of the total Core airdrop amount. Okay, interesting. Please note that a trust line to the Coreum gateway must be in place for the account to be eligible for the airdrop. That's a given. If you want to get any of these airdrops, you're going to need a trust line set. Again, I'm going to make a video on how to set up these trust lines in the future. Just if you need help with that, subscribe to the channel and I'll have something put out. But if you don't want to subscribe or whatever, just go back to my old videos. I have it. You can kind of piece together the ways that you would do it from the old trust lines. Anyway, So XRP holders are going to get 50% of the total xCORE airdrop amount, and then the solo holders are going to get the other 50% of the total xCORE airdrop amount. And it says, please note that a trust line to the xCORE gateway must be in place for the amount to be eligible for the airdrop. That's the same thing they just said above, pretty much. You need a trust line to get these tokens. Okay, this is what I like. They have a chart. I don't want to read paragraphs of information. Just give me the freaking chart. So core is 100 million, solo 25 million for xCORE, and then XRP, they're giving you 25 million xCORE. Okay. So for core, looks like there's going to be 4 distributions from the snapshot that's taking place the 24th of March. Okay, and they're kind of spread out a little randomly. And it looks like for the xCORE, it's going to be the 15th of May, and they're dropping the total supply on that date. Okay. So calculating the airdrop ratio. So here's the thing with this, like when we were doing the solo and core airdrops, people took this to be fact. These numbers here are not fact. This is just Sologenic saying, hey, this is how you calculate the airdrop. This is the formula, because we don't know how many trust lines are going to be set up. So when they say you have 100 million here and the ratio for that is going to be 50 million, and that's going to equal you're getting 2 core per each core holding, they don't know that. So don't take that as fact. This is just them showing you the formula of how you would get that. We don't know how many trust lines are going to be set. We're going to know that probably in March. There's probably a way that someone could go out and maybe view and see how many trust lines are set. Potentially, I don't know. But for now, I'm just giving you the warning to not take this that you're getting 2 core in this airdrop. This is just them showing a formula. So scrolling down some more, they talk about xCORE. And again, this is not fact. You're not getting 0.25 xCORE per solo or XRP. So just don't take that as fact. They're just showing you how they're going to do the math. What's xCORE and how does the redemption work? To further incentivize the community and avoid immediate pressure on the core market after the airdrop distribution, the core team is issuing 50 million xCORE tokens at a value of 500 million USD to be airdropped exclusively to the Solo and XRP communities. Okay, so xCORE is an option token that can be exchanged for core tokens if the core price reaches and stays above $10 for 240 consecutive hours, 10 days, or expires on March 24th, 2025. Okay, so this is interesting because when I saw this xCORE token thing come out, people were like, oh, the company's making more tokens to embezzle more money out of people, blah, 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 blah. But all this is an option token. So it's backed 1-for-1 with core. So they didn't extend or make more core tokens. It's the same thing. They're just issuing you xCORE as an option token with the hopes that they're going to inflate the price of core. Hint, hint, if they do that, you might want to sell, depending on how it's looking at the time. You know, definitely not financial advice, but it's yeah, the main thing I saw is that based off of the last airdrop is that they were giving you less. So if I flip back, here was the original plan. They were doing 20% to solo, which is what we're finishing up on now, and 30% of the supply was going to go to core. So they were going to do a core airdrop on your core, right? And that was going to work for 12 months to 36 months. So when you look at the supply of Coreum, you have 500 million. So people weren't doing the math, or maybe they just didn't care and they were spreading FUD, but the math still works out the same, because if you have 20% of the supply, right, over here, and then you go back to what they're airdropping you, I believe it's another 150 million, you still have the 250 million. So it's the same exact amount, and it's just it's a little bit different because they're giving you this xCORE, which is, honestly, it's core. They're calling it xCORE because it's an option token, but it's still, it's core. So as I scroll down here, it says, regardless of the price, holders of xCORE are eligible to exchange 1-for-1 to core tokens via a smart contract on the Coreum blockchain. One xCORE is always backed by one core held in a smart contract on the Coreum blockchain until redemption takes place. xCORE is interoperable with XRPL and the Coreum blockchain and can be bridged for redemption. So again, they say it a little bit better than me. You know, they're a little bit more formal, but you know, it's the same shit. In a nutshell, if you hold XRP or Solo at the time of the snapshot, you will receive xCORE tokens, which can be exchanged for core tokens given the price of core goes above $10. If it does not, you will receive one core regardless of the price after 2 years. So as you can see here, they're trying to pump the price of core. They're trying to hit that $10 mark, and then, you know, probably a lot of people are going to sell. They're probably going to dump on it if it actually gets to that point. But who knows? You know, I can't predict the future. I don't know exactly what's going to happen. Maybe it moons. I don't know. We'll see. And then as I scroll down, it starts giving you the trust lines that you need to set. It tells you the things that have already been listed in the table. I don't know why they relisted this again. Just give me the table, man. I just want to read the table. So moving down here, this is a good question that they actually have. It's, why is the XRP community included in the airdrop? So if you guys remember back when Sologenic came out, it was intended for XRP fanboys, pretty much. You know, it's people that were really into XRP. And once Coreum came out as this new layer 1 blockchain, there was a little bit of hostility because people were saying that they were moving away from the XRPL. They were kind of doing their own thing, creating their own blockchain. That made some of those people a little bit upset. So they say Coreum was built out of a necessity by the Sologenic tokenization platform, and the XRPL has been a key to this journey. The XRPL ledger inspired many aspects of the Coreum blockchain, and we would like to keep the two blockchains side by side to complete one another and are made interoperable. So that's an interesting way of looking at it. There's certain things that the XRPL can't do that they're doing with Coreum, but they want to try and make them complement each other. For this reason, the first asset other than IBC-based assets that will be bridged to the Coreum blockchain is the XRP and other tokenized assets on the XRPL. This interoperability allows these assets to fully utilize the power of Coreum blockchain and create more use cases by using smart contracts and smart tokens. In addition, by design, these assets will flow into the Cosmos-based chains through IBC. This will unlock many new opportunities for XRP, such as DeFi and innovative smart contract-based dApps. And moving down, here's another good question. This is, what wallets will be excluded? All wallets belonging to the foundation and teams at Coreum and Sologenic will be excluded from the airdrop, and any exchanges or custodial company wallets will not release an official announcement to support the airdrop to their users. So anybody working for Coreum or Sologenic and they have their own personal wallet that happens to have a lot of core on there, they are not getting this airdrop, which is a good plan. It's reinforcing that this is community driven, that they're not giving money to themselves, right? And as I scroll down, these are the trust lines here that you're actually going to want to use. I will link this in the description if you just want to set it up, and you can go ahead and check it out. But yeah, that's pretty much the bullish news. There was a lot of craziness going on. Oh no, Sologenic's making a new token, and how is this going to affect me, kind of thing. I don't see anything shady with that, really. It's better for me because I didn't want to have to wait potentially 3 years to get my Coreum airdrop. It seems like they're trying to rip the band-aid off within a year, which I'm all for, so we can kind of get the project moving, and it will kind of be closer to the next bull run, which is in 2025. So hopefully it'll be lining up in that time frame, and we'll see core actually moon hopefully above $10, but we'll see what happens. Nobody can predict the future. So anyway, you guys want some FUD? Now, when it comes to this FUD, I don't know if this one was actually very good, but it was sent to me in an email with some complaints that this guy had about the Sologenic team. So, you know, I'll bring it up, but I'll give you my opinion on it, and yeah, let's just go ahead and get into it. So I got this email here, and I'm going to leave this person's name off because I don't know if they wanted to be anonymous or not. So just out of fairness to them, I'm not going to disclose that. Anyway, so they say, "Hi Cliff, I appreciate your balanced videos. I want to share this inside," in quotes, "tip with you." And that got me excited when I read that. It's like, ooh, insider tip? Let's fucking do this. In videos with Bob Reza and their published marketing, their team describe a series of nonprofits and foundation. There are multiple tools online to verify the authenticity of a nonprofit and foundation. As of this time, there is no record that a nonprofit or foundation entity actually legally exists. Even if based overseas, they must follow certain procedures in the United States to operate to confirm authenticity. Misrepresentation as a nonprofit and or foundation is a felony offense. So my opinion on that, I didn't go ahead and look up and see how their companies are structured. I don't really know, to be honest, but to me, we're all kind of hoping to make money off of this. So to me, this isn't really a nonprofit. I don't know what they're doing with their taxes, just being real. I don't see their tax forms, but pretty much all of us are sitting around here hoping to make money off of these Coreum tokens, right? Of course, we can say like we hope there's good functionality, and I do, I hope we get good utility, but that's just me being a cyber security nerd, right? I want there to be things that make my life easier. But this channel is called Cliff Invest, right? I'm here to make some money, and I think probably at least 95% of my users are here to make some money. So if they're not a nonprofit, who am I to really say anything, right? That's on them as a company and the Security Exchange Commission, right? But anyway, let's see what else he has to say. Second, I'm associated with one of the Coreum grant recipients. I will not name this project due to possible litigation. The project received a fraction of what was promised in a different currency of what was told, and a lot of follow-up excuses after deliberation with Bob and Reza. I suggested to the recipient to request a Form 990. This form helps the recipient with their own taxes to confirm to the IRS that they received a grant from a foundation or nonprofit and not to be taxed as normal revenue. Form 990 must be made available to anyone that asks. Many legitimate nonprofits have this publicly posted somewhere on their website or on online nonprofit websites. If they do not publicly post this, anyone is allowed to obtain one, whether they do business with them or not. This is a federal law in the United States. Bob and Reza refused to provide one. So yes, that is legitimate that they should provide a Form 990. However, I'm going off of this email, which is someone's word. So I wasn't involved in this conversation, so I don't know exactly what happened between them back and forth. Just, kind of airing out some FUD here. Now, one thing I would say, the Coreum grant, when you actually go to their website, it doesn't list how much they're actually giving people. It's not public knowledge. That is between the recipient. So if they did say, hey, you're getting this amount of money, and then it was less, that kind of sucks, for sure. But at the same time, it's a grant. So if I have a business and I'm running my business as normal operations, and somebody says they're going to give me some free money, but then that money is less, I'll still take it. I'm not really going to complain, because again, it was free money. It's kind of like you won the grant, right? You won the contest of getting the grant. So any free money is free money, and I will take it. But anyway, that's the end of video FUD that I figured I'd share with you guys, because it seems like people kind of like these. If the person who sent this to me wants to explain themselves further in the comment section, by all means, please do. I'm always open to conversation in the comment section. But again, you have to be respectful. That's all I got. If you're not respectful, you got to go. So thank you to my Patreon supporter, Kevin, and hope you guys have a good Christmas or whatever you celebrate. I know we'll definitely be celebrating Christmas in 2 days now. We're coming up on it. So yeah, thank you for watching.